It is the new wave of sports that is sweeping the nation, where we're not just accurate but spot on. Live from Dallas, Texas, Geek League Studios is Monk Spot here on Spot On Sports, not SOS Nation. That show is coming at you, but I'll take over for the time being until the superstar himself gets on and graces y'all with his drop top shag presence or whatever he calls it. But Sequoia Hood is joining me, one of the new faces here on Spot On Sports. What's going on?
Hello, guys. How are you out there?
Now,
fine.
Yes. See, now Sequoia is new to the whole podcast field.
I am. I'm like, oh my God, I'm live.
Relax. It's gonna be smooth. We just here to talk to the folks about some good football. I think that's what we do best around here. Now, before we do get started, NCAA tournament, everyone. March Madness has begun. And now, before I can get in anything, my school didn't make it. Texas Southern did not make it. All my TSU alumni and alumnus out there, all of you good folks, PV.
But my school did, guys. And, you know, it's cool. Listen, first, could we just acknowledge the accomplishment thus far?
No, we don't.
PV boys have led the SWAC this year. You know, they gave y'all a few black eyes last weekend.
Okay. Right.
Over the weekend. So please just acknowledge the SWAC champions of 2019. Okay, awesome. Yes.
So
secondly, listen, can we get there?
Right, go ahead. We'll get there.
So today, you know, PV, they came out hard and aggressive. However, they dropped the ball in the second quarter. And, you know, and I think it's a thing within SWAC basketball. They kind of play unstructured basketball in a way. And it's more just like, you know, they're just out there street balling in a way, almost. But we have some talented guys on that team. A few of them from Fort Worth.
Okay.
You know, all over. We have some very, very talented guys. What's his last name? Is Blackston.
I think irrelevant.
It doesn't matter. He carried the team. They all did a wonderful job. However, when it comes to just the fundamental of playing basketball, they ran offense. The FDU. However, PV just street balled and they couldn't hold on to that lead that they had the entire game. But they played a great game. They played with heart. They played with their heart on their shoulders, and it's okay. We made it. Did y'all?
No, we didn't make it, but I was upset by that though. I was like, Texas Southern not in the bracket, but I was definitely when I looked at the bracket, I was looking for y'all to see where y'all were, and I was like, oh okay.
You guys haven't been that good since Griffin was there.
Who, us?
Yeah.
We've been.
Oh, okay.
Did we upset Baylor this year, or did we all miss that?
I think I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, too busy paying attention to PP, whatever y'all call yourselves. But
PVAMU,
yeah,
the Prairie View A&M University.
I guess you can call it that if that's what you want to be technical about it. They did unfortunately fall to FDU 82-76, but big shout out to PV and all the PV players for making it to the NCAA tournament. Not an easy feat. You still have to win your own division, still have to win your own tournament at the end of the day, just to get to where the big leagues is. And
I just feel like they set them up for failure, though.
No, okay.
Because the first game,
Go ahead.
You know, they give you somebody else that's kind of, you know, under wraps, you know. And then they just go straight for the heavy hitter. Boom, Gonzaga next. Now, you know, PV probably would have got beat by 60. Honestly, whenever the next time they play, FDU is definitely going to get beat probably by 60. I just think they just set them up not to just really, you know, have a fair chance.
And we know that's how it goes. Even in college football, they give the lesser teams. Whether I know a while ago there was Sam Houston versus Texas A&M when Texas A&M still had Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
And they were playing against Sound. I'm like, this is a lopsided match. But I guess to NCAA, it's their opportunity for smaller schools to get chances against the bigger schools.
Yeah, let's get that little extra exposure out there just to get that chance.
I think when it comes down to crunch time scenarios, such as the NCAA tournament, PV going up against a team like Gonzaga, and that's any team, any lower team, because we're talking about, what are we, D1 AA.
Yeah.
PV or TSU against a school like Gonzaga that's D1A. So with them having it, it's cool to get opportunities. it's cool to get opportunities, I think, during the regular season. When
Yeah.
it comes to stuff like the tournament, everybody should kind of be on some
I
type
think
of
it should have just it gives them the opportunity to shot because, I know you guys had like a Cinderella moment one of these years back where y'all kind of upset a team.
Almost.
Yeah, almost did it, and so it gives them a shot because at any day, any team could come out and play the game of their life, and any team could come out and just have the worst game of their life and just can't shake it off. So it does give them the opportunity. I just feel like they just let teams like Gonzaga just sit out and chill until it's time to really, at least the Elite Eight,
So Bruce T and Joy will touch more on the NCAA tournament. Me and Sequoia are here to talk the football and the good facts to you guys. We'll start with one of the marquee signings that happened last week at the start of free agency. OBJ to the Cleveland Browns.
That really had me like. Whoa, let me pick my mouth up real quick.
Yeah, that's
because I had no clue. Like I just had no clue.
And he just Jarvis Landry. I like it.
I mean, it is because that's his boy. Yeah, that's his brother. Like that's his guy. So I mean, of course, it's gonna be chemistry there. I think it's a chance for the Browns to rebrand and rebuild their team up. Like they had a decent season last season.
Right.
Yeah. So it gives them a chance to up the ante a little bit.
And actually, in the big guys, we'll have Jonathan Davis calling in with CJ's Corner. He'll be able to give us more of insight on what's going on as far as the signings, and we'll even go back and ask him some things on the NCAA tournament. OBJ to the Browns, I love it. Here's the thing, because the way this offense is set up, and then you have Nick Chubb, and you have Kareem Hunt, albeit he's going to be on an 8-game suspension. You pair OBJ up with his old guy Jarvis Landry. Two guys that usually average over 100 catches a season.
Yeah.
David Njoku at tight end. How do you spread the ball around to all of these guys? How do you feed everyone? How do you keep everyone happy? Like that's the question that I'm asking if I'm a Cleveland Browns fan.
I mean, that's true. It's kind of similar. That's why everyone wants the touches, But I think it gives them a lot of weapons on offense. They can go, left or right, or they can go to this person, know their run game is going to be on point, I just think it gives them, like, a lot of different opportunities to score the ball, like a lot of different, a lot of different openings and go-tos.
How important is it that this still works, though? Because, okay, let's take it back to 2011. Remember when Philadelphia formed the Dream Team?
Yeah.
They had Vic, McNabb.
Man, that's when I was the biggest Philly fan ever.
Philly fan that year?
Man, listen, I love Deshaun Jackson, Michael Vick, LaShawn McCoy. Like, those were my guys. And then Chip Kelly came, just broke up teams.
Considering that those guys probably would have worked for his system, but okay, I think that's a whole horse with another color. But that team didn't work. That team, it fell apart. That team, it had no chance, and I think they actually had a losing season that year. I have to go back and look at the stats. But could we be facing something reminiscent to that in the 2019 Cleveland Browns?
Well, of course, you always when dealing with the Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry, but like when quarterbacks or Cleveland Browns always get the rehab second chance players, and it just historically always happens for them that way, and it's almost like a cursed team. So of course you're gonna cross your fingers and hope for the best. However, in the back of your mind, it's like, yikes, if this don't work, it's almost career suicide in a way. It takes a high caliber player from one level, and then when I don't know, sometimes the Browns just have a little curse around their team to me.
But is it over?
But they've been doing good though, so
they did. They
maybe they're turning it around. They're opening the doors.
It could be over. The curse could be lifted. Let's think about that.
For now, it is.
Have the Browns not went through enough scrutiny?
They have. Cleveland.
Couple decades. What has it been since Jake DeLong was quarterback? I want to say, but it may be that time. You go from worst to first. I'm not saying they're going to win the AFC North, and I can actually kind of go into a soliloquy on why I still think Pittsburgh is the team to beat.
Is Odell their LeBron, their savior?
See, you got a lot of egos happening right now, because Jarvis is a rah-rah type of guy.
Yeah.
Odell is a very passionate guy. And then you have Baker. And we know the type of guy he was at Oklahoma. I mean, you got a lot of egos kind of clamoring into one space. You got a new head coach.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think it's okay to not know right now.
It is, because it's brand new. First of all, we're not used to the Browns even looking decent. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the fact that they're looking decent and they have all these new parts and stuff, we're actually more interested to figure out, to find out, you know, how it turns out. Right. More than like, you know, sitting on the edge of our chairs like, I hope it turns out. You kind of more excited for them, you know?
And I am.
It's like you're excited just to see what happens. You know, just to see what happens.
I want to see the Browns do good. I think
they deserve it, finally.
Yeah.
And to see, you know, Odell back, you know, playing with his boy, like, that's good.
And that's a beautiful thing.
It's just so sweet. It's like Dwayne Wade playing back with LeBron.
Odell, he's matched back up with Jarvis Landry. I think that's going to be a lot of good work. Other signings that happen.
If not, it's going to be a lot of great dancing going on.
That too. Imagine all the dance moves.
Sideline, yeah, like it's going to be a lot of great dancing.
Other marquee signings that happened in the league. Cowboys did not get Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas instead signed a $54 million contract with the Baltimore Ravens. Will that work out for him and them?
Well, I hope so. Cause yikes. Okay, but honestly, I think that was probably the better move for him. Possibly.
That ain't the Cowboys. Is it?
I mean, aside from Cowboys being, you know, the Cowboys.
I think they needed it for letting go of Eric Weddle. Okay, needed a safety. They lost 3 to 4 other starters on defense. Okay. I like it. Would I have paid him $54 million? No.
Absolutely not.
His play reflects $54 million. Yes. Anytime Earl's on the field, he's a threat. Okay. A guy that hasn't been on the field, 2 broke legs. Did he have an ACL injury a couple years back or something like that? Can you trust him? Do you want to trust
wishy-washy, huh?
with this man? That's what I'm saying. Do you trust $54 million with this guy? When I look at Earl Thomas, I look at the Baltimore Ravens defense, I'm looking at a guy who is going...
So you rather him go to the Cowboys? You just say you can't trust him.
But I wouldn't have paid him $54 million anyway, even if he did come to us. I'm still thinking like, I'm along the lines of 10 to 11 to $12 million.
Right.
That's me. That's what I'm thinking. Not 15 a year for a 30-year-old safety. That's not necessary.
Yeah, listen. Some of these guys have been making these weird decisions here with these contracts and these guys, but I think that for him personally, that's a great move. I would have went too. That's an awesome move.
Well, from a standpoint of defensive tendencies like a team like the Ravens, then yeah, okay, it works. On another note, another take to that is off the market and did get released. The Kansas City Chiefs released Eric Berry after X amount of years and a massive $78 million contract that he had. They finally cut him. He was a guy who fought cancer. He bounced back.
They felt bad.
Are we feeling bad about the cut because of that?
Well, I think that they felt bad. That's why they kept him a little longer. He haven't played he played a total of 3 games since 2017.
Okay, you see that?
They felt bad.
Look, okay.
It was a perfect time for them to go ahead and release him.
The cancer thing, you come back from that, kudos.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's a lifetime achievement. Like that's
exactly.
Amazing.
So it's a time to part ways. Like I said, when you're trusting this much money to guys like Earl Thomas that gets injured frequently, because at the end of the day, I'm looking at your resume. What's on here? You just told me 3 games since 2017.
But he's a 10-time Pro Bowl player.
Earl is really good. You just
he's good. However, the thing is, it's just he's a little injury prone. And if you just look over, let me look at your last 3, years, your collective of work, guy, you only played 3 games. So I mean, Cowboys, I don't know. I mean, if you guys just want to bring back all the veteran players and just create this mega team, that's fine.
What's Eric Berry's worth? What is his worth? If we're gonna feel bad about cancer, okay. But what about the heel injury or whatever, the pain tolerance?
I'm gonna need to see something recent, okay? I'm gonna need to see some stuff to make my feet move, because I mean, everybody, was once a has-been or was something, and I mean, 10-time Pro Bowl. Like, I don't want to disrespect him because he's a great player, but I mean, what have you done for me lately?
And that is, now I will say this, and Eric and Earl's defense, change of scenery could be nice. Yeah. Look at Earl, the Legion of Boom. He wasn't really injured. It was really towards the time that all those guys began to split up. When Cam got the serious neck injury, he retired. Richard Sherman tore his ACL. They were switching out cornerbacks on the other side. I mean, yeah, okay. You can say it comes time for those things. That all good things happen.
But you think after so many injuries, are you still able to perform up to that same level that you were performing before? And as a DB, that's a tough spot. I mean, you gotta be quick on your feet. And then he had like an Achilles injury. True. And are you able to bounce back and play up to that same caliber that you were playing before? And then you ain't getting younger. You know what I mean? So
I think at that point it's depending on who you're putting around that guy.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at had Earl came to the Cowboys, well, their front seven is pretty good. They have decent pass rush, albeit if they do sign DeMarcus Lawrence. We talking about looking at the Ravens. A well defensive coach team. I'm not sure what they're going to do now that they've lost guys like C.J. Mosley and Eric Weddle, but albeit the chance that you put Earl on a defense like that, he makes the players around him better still. And then the cornerbacks are pretty good, so they'll make him better. I think it works. I think it can work. Now, if the Cowboys go ahead and sign a guy like Eric Berry, I think it'll be okay. Right now we're having Jonathan Davis. He is on the line right now with Caesar's Corner. My man, John, what is going down, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man? Happy to be on the show.
Hey, man, it's a whole lot of good football news, man. What you excited about?
Oh, I'm excited about everything. Last time I was on, I didn't get to talk much football. We were talking basketball, so now I'm good to get back to my roots today and talk about some football. A lot of big free agency signing, draft talk, potential trade talk, some big trades happening. So I'm ready to get into it.
Me and Sequoia was just speaking on the whole Earl Thomas situation and him getting the $54 million from the Baltimore Ravens. Was he worth it?
I think he's still on the other side of 30. If you think about it, he's 29. So if you look at a 4-year deal, possibly more than likely a 3-year deal with the way that teams are looking at these deals and restructuring them at the end of it, I think he was worth it just based on production. If you look at it, he's arguably the best safety in the league, especially with Eric Berry's injury concern. Still probably the best coverage safety in the league, just the way he can move the field and kind of being a racer in the back end. Even if corners make a mistake or out of position, he's one of the best we've ever seen is just being able to cover the field and just make big plays, as far as pass defense. So I definitely think he was worth it. I think it was a great pickup for Baltimore, especially losing 4 defensive starters, to go and get somebody like Earl Thomas that if he can stay healthy, I think he's still the best safety in the league, honestly.
Interesting. I want to kind of get into Eric Berry's situation, being released by the Chiefs. We know the whole, what was it, Hoskins lymphoma, something like the cancer thing that he had going on. Like lymphoma. He did bounce back from that, but he still he got to a Pro Bowl afterwards. But injuries kind of happened to him again, and he inevitably was released. Tell me, the Cowboys are looking at Eric Berry. Is he also worth having to look at, and can he still have that same level of play?
I think with Eric Berry, it's all about practice. With Earl Thomas, he did have a lot of injuries, but he has played a good amount of games. And like I said, he's still 29. Eric Berry is young too, but I mean, he's only played 3 games in the last 2 years. So
When I tell you.
So go ahead and just say, no, she was like 3 games in the last couple of years. So go ahead.
2017.
Yeah, I mean, he's only played 3 games in the last 2 years. So like I said, that's a huge risk. So it just depends on the price. It depends on what you're able to get him for. I would assume it's going to be a heavily incentivized contract, with active roster bonuses each week or active game bonuses, But I think if you could get him on a 1-year prove-it deal, for a decent amount of money, maybe between $5 and $8 million, I'd say why not? If he, I think he played the last 3 games of last season. If you can get him even for 8 games, for the season 19, I think that'll be a huge boost for the defense. So, he's probably the biggest wild
if he
card
stay
in free
healthy
agency right now. Just because, like I said, with him playing only 3 games over the last 2 years, you really don't know what you're getting. But I just think from a veteran leadership perspective, just from a warrior, somebody who's battled cancer, battled an Achilles, all of that, and came back and been an All-Pro. After each one of those situations, I think, he's just as valuable off the field as on the field. So, for the right price, I would definitely take a chance on Eric Berry, especially if you could get him on a 1-year deal.
John, you just made that sound so much better. Now, before I move to one of the bigger signings that happened in free agency, I do want to get with the Cowboys' most recent acquisition. They did sign ex-Packers receiver Randall Cobb, a guy that they needed in the slot, sans Cole Beasley leaving and signing his massive deal with the Bills.
That's crazy.
Can we know Randall Cobb isn't going to be the same guy he was for Aaron Rodgers, but can he still help the Cowboys in the slot position and, taking the heat off guys like Amari Cooper and possibly Michael Gallup?
This was a great move, and it helps us tremendously. If you look at Cole Beasley, he was a great slot receiver, but 1, we didn't have the type of money that he was looking for. 2, Randall Cobb is just an overall better receiver. I know that, he's had some injury concerns, but I think a fresh start will really do him well. And if he can stay healthy, maybe not even play all 16, but if he can, relatively stay healthy this year, I think that adds another dimension to the offense. He runs a lot of jet sweeps. They do a lot of running the ball with him. So he's very versatile. He can play outside. That's something Cole Beasley couldn't do. So that's something Kellen Moore can play around with, moving him inside to the slot. He kind of covers up that loss for Cole Beasley. But you can also play him outside. He can spell Michael Gallup on some routes. It's just a great pickup overall. I know a lot of people were sad about losing Cole Beasley, but there's a couple stats real quick. Cole Beasley, I think the highest he ever had in a season was 833 yards. Randall Cobb almost had 1,300 yards 1 year. The most touchdowns Cole Beasley ever had in a season was 5. Randall Cobb had 12.
And that was with Tony Romo, right?
Yeah, and actually every season, Randall Cobb has had a catch of at least 40 yards. So he's a very dynamic playmaker, and I think he's going to bring a lot to the offense. And I think a lot of people will be surprised at how much more he can do in that offense compared to what Cole Beasley did. I know a lot of people were sad about his departure, but especially to get Randall Cobb in there on a 1-year, $5 million deal, I think Cowboy fans need to realize how big of a move that was today.
And I think people also need to realize that Cole Beasley was still a part of the whole Tony Romo regime. He worked with Dak just based off the fact that slot receivers are the easiest to progress with. As far as being a young quarterback. I actually like the Randall Cobb sign. I think Dallas fans should look at this as a really big move, even though we didn't get the guy that we wanted last week in someone like Earl Thomas. But someone that's a vet, first of all, that can come in, help out a quarterback like Dak Prescott, who is in that key fourth year. And I think a lot of people need to realize that Dak needs that veteran presence around him and not a lot of young guys. And not that Cole wasn't that. I do want to look on the defensive side of the ball. He probably spoke with Bruce about this last week. Maybe one of the reasons we didn't go get a guy like Earl to pay him $15 million that we have trouble signing one of our own right now who did sign a franchise tag. Me and you had a text back and forth last week that you were proud that the Cowboys didn't throw money around. Do you think they'll end up getting a nail in the deal with DeMarcus Lawrence before the deadline?
I think they will. I also do know that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones aren't the type to be strong on, and I think that's kind of what DeMarcus Lawrence is aiming to do now by saying that he's putting off his shoulder surgery and he won't have shoulder surgery until a deal is reached. And right now, he's not planning to play on the franchise tag. I guess a la Le'Veon Bell, but you know how I feel personally about DeMarcus Lawrence. He's a great player, and I can't take anything away from him. But when I look at the players that are paid in the range that he's looking to be paid in, I just think they consistently dominate games. When you look at the top defensive players in that range that we're looking to pay him, right now he's making $20.5 million on this franchise tag. But if you look at a Khalil Mack, if you look at an Aaron Donald, those are players that legit scare you every week. And I know DeMarcus Lawrence has put together 2 back-to-back good years, but to me, DeMarcus Lawrence just doesn't wreck games in the way that Aaron Donald does. He doesn't wreck games in the way that Khalil Mack
and I totally agree. But John, this is the question I asked you last week: is for what the Cowboys can do. For what the Cowboys can do, is he not their Von Miller or Khalil Mack?
No, because he doesn't have their level of production. And like I said, he doesn't wreck games like that.
So
we have to pay him. Like
so what do he suggest they do?
Quarterbacks are at a premium, so we're gonna have to pay him, and it's just one of those situations. But we have so many people to pay over the next couple of years. I just look at it. To me, throwing $100 million at DeMarcus Lawrence would scare me a bit.
The whole injury, he's a bit injury prone.
I think he's more good than great, and that may just be me, but it's tough, but you got to pay Byron Jones, you got to pay Jameis Smith, obviously you got to pay everybody on the offensive side of the ball, but you need a dominant pass rusher, and he's had back-to-back seasons with double-digit sacks. I believe he led the league in tackles for loss last year.
Right.
He does deserve to get paid, and he does deserve his money. I'm just a little weary of giving him the type of money that he's looking for.
John, I want to get to the biggest signing that trolled everyone. OBJ to the Cleveland Browns. I want to start from the Giants end. Putting faith in Eli Manning. I kind of think Eli's really just serving as a bridge quarterback right now for them to possibly draft a guy like maybe Dwayne Haskins or I don't know where Drew Lock may end up falling into the draft. I just kind of think, this is more of that farewell tour for Eli at this point. But getting rid of OBJ, a lot of Giants fans are kind of in an uproar saying, hey, you got rid of our best player. But I think OBJ was really doing more harm than good. We could go back to the emotional sessions on the sideline, which as you get with most diva receivers, you can go to his fight with the what was it, the
it was the kicking net,
and then the video, the interview he had with Josina Anderson and Lil Wayne, just kind of throwing the Giants players under the bus. Was it better for the Giants to get rid of OBJ?
Hell no.
Didn't he just get a huge, massive contract though?
He did. He got.
That's why I don't understand.
I don't agree with you at all. I think that the narrative that Odell, is a team disruptor. Look, he's passionate. He does have his outbursts, but I think when you have a player of that, of that talent at 25 years old, you don't give up on players like that. Your whole dream is to scout and to look at players and hope that you can draft a player half as talented as Odell Beckham, And to me, it just doesn't make sense, the timeline of what the Giants are doing. You repeatedly come out and say that, you didn't sign Odell Beckham to the highest paid receiver contract in NFL history, to trade him. And, they had talks to trade him last year. Apparently Pat Sherman said, I can work with him. And to me, I just don't see what Odell Beckham has done to the point to where at 25 years old, one of the most talented receivers we've ever seen, to say we're better without him. Especially for a mid-first round pick, a third-round pick, who we can just all say there's almost a 5% chance maybe that he'll even touch Odell Beckham's talent level and Jabril Peppers, I just to me, I don't get it at all. And then, if you're rebuilding, then maybe you say, okay, we get rid of Odell Beckham. We're not going to win with him anyway.
That's where I'm at, John. That's where I'm at, John. I'm thinking
they did have a losing record with Odell Beckham, so I get it from that standpoint. But then why do you go sign Golden Tate to a 4-year deal after you traded Odell Beckham? It just makes no sense. Like one day they're rebuilding, the next day, and then you have all this faith in Eli Manning, and from what I'm hearing, they're not even scouting Dwayne Haskins. They're not really looking at him. To me, I mean, it just nothing makes sense to what they're doing, you know. And then you draft Saquon when you could have drafted your quarterback of the future. You drafted Saquon as a win now move, and then you have arguably, you know, definitely a top 4, top 5 receiver in the league at 25 years old. You just gave him $18 million a year.
I just don't understand it.
I want to say $60 million guaranteed, and you trade him for a mid-first round pick, a third round pick, and a safety that was expendable. To me, that just makes no sense at all. And you know, you win in this league with talent, you know. And
True.
I mean, that's just what it is, you know. I feel like for what he's done, you know, people talk about his touchdown celebrations and kicking a net and his outburst and, you know, the things with Josh Norman. I mean, you know, to me, it's just, it didn't seem like something to me to where they had to get rid of him.
Yeah, it doesn't overshadow his talent.
I've never heard any of his teammates come out and say anything bad about him. Look at Antonio Brown, the things that Antonio Brown has done, they have actually really hurt the team. Their players have come out and said Antonio Brown is a certain way, you know? A lot of players have supported him, but I've never heard somebody come out and say, Odell Beckham was a distraction, he was a cancer in the locker room or anything. So I just think that the media and ownership push a narrative that's completely untrue. I think Odell is a great person. He's passionate about winning. And, you know, he may not handle it in the best way, but there's no question that when he's on the field, he's arguably the best player on the field every day.
Me and Sequoia was speaking briefly before you came on about OBJ's movement to the Cleveland Browns and what he could do for them. You pairing him up back with his boy Jarvis Landry, and they get the tag team it again from their LSU days. And then you have an enigmatic guy like Baker Mayfield at quarterback. I did tell Sequoia this. I want to take it back to the 2011 Dream Team Eagles when everyone really thought that was going to work. Because at the end of the day, we know no matter how much talent that you acquire and put on one team, they have to mesh.
Yeah,
but we fully expect the Cleveland Browns to go from worst to first. They were a 7-9-1 team last year. I think a couple of games got away from them. They probably could have been pushing for a wild card spot. What do we expect the Browns to be coming into the 2019 season?
I respect them to be a playoff team, and that's not just because of the addition of Odell Beckham. When you look at it, they got Olivier Vernon from the Giants as well, which gives them a legitimate pass rusher. You also have Myles Garrett, who's obviously one of the best pass rushers in the league. And then when they got Sheldon Richardson, one of the best defensive tackles from the Vikings, that was a great pickup. Even though, you know, you've heard over the past of him having locker room concerns and just not always being committed, that's still a great talent. You know, you got Denzel Ward, who's one of the best young corners in the league. They got some good linebacker play. So I think their defense is solid. I do think they're going to miss defensive coordinator Greg Williams. Every defense he's been on has been nasty, and I think you'll see that with the Jets defense next year. But I definitely expect them to be a playoff team. I'm not going to give up on the Steelers yet.
I'm not giving up on the Steelers, John. Thank you. I don't know why people are ruling them out.
I still think it's their division to lose. You know, I mean, obviously they're stockpiling talent in Cleveland like crazy. But we haven't seen them play together yet. You know, you got a mess. We got a first-time head coach in Freddie Kitchens. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables that could slow this team down or temper expectations, you know. Of course, you know, they're putting together a Madden team right now, so everybody's thinking they're going to the Super Bowl or they're guaranteed to win a division, but none of it matters until you can, you know, actually make it happen on the field. And like you said, we've seen teams before that have won the offseason and necessarily didn't win in the regular season. So, but I fully expect them to be at least a wild card team. I mean, especially with that kind of talent. Hopefully Baker Mayfield will develop. I think he's a great young quarterback. Definitely will be in that top tier quarterbacks in the next couple of years. So, I fully expect them to be a playoff team, but as of right now, I still think it's the Steelers' division to lose.
I want to touch on this with you before we kind of get into some NBA before you get off. A lot of people looking at Kyler Murray in the draft. A lot of people looking to see where he's going to go. Could end up being the first pick in the draft in the first round. Could end up going to the Arizona Cardinals. I kind of got your thoughts last year as far as what you think about Josh Rosen, high IQ guy, can make the throws, but Cliff Kingsbury may want to go a different direction and end up trading him. Give me your thoughts on Kyler Murray and his transition coming into the NFL and what type of guy he could be.
It's tough, and you know, I think the best way to describe it is, you know, he's one of those players that could get a lot of GMs and coaches extended, or he can get GMs and coaches fired. You know, I mean, he's just one of those type of players. But you know, he's one of those prospects that you don't want to look back 10 years from now and say we had the opportunity to draft him and we didn't.
Yeah.
So you know, I fully understand it. Cliff Kingsbury has a history of showing, you know, great interest in Kyler Murray just from recruiting him initially to Texas A&M to, the comments he made about saying if he had the first overall pick, he would draft him. Then ironically him being blessed with the first overall pick.
Right.
I know they had him and the GM today had a private meeting with Kyler Murray. And
right.
Just from everything you're hearing, it's pretty much a done deal. You would think that the Arizona Cardinals are going to take him and trade Josh Rosen. To me, I think Josh Rosen I don't see great in him. I don't see star in him. But to me, he has some attitude concerns that would, concern me about his ability to lead a locker room of 52 men. He seems like he kind of has that
little moxie, that a little big. He might have a little big bend to his game.
Yeah, that moxie that would kind of turn people off, especially grown men, especially veterans. So I think you see what you can get for him. It's tough. You just did all of that to move up to the 10th pick last year and take Josh Rosen. So to move off of him the next year and draft Kyler Murray, but if you just look at the upside, if you look at what Kyler Murray could be, obviously there's some height concerns. Some weight concerns. I know he, drank a ton of water to get up to 205 for the combine, but he's really about 190. So
yeah, when you pee it all out, you about 190.
He's gonna be up there playing at 190. But like I said, he's just one of those prospects where, you don't sleep at night if you pass on him, and if you look at what he could be. Especially with that Michael Vick type quickness and speed, with some are saying a better arm, better touch, better accuracy. He's got that baseball arm. So, if you get this pick right, you're looking at arguably, somebody who has the potential to be one of the most game-changing, electrifying, best quarterbacks we've ever seen.
Right, a dynamic quarterback.
I'd say why not? And maybe if it does work out, you say, maybe 32 out of 32 teams would have took Kyler Murray in that position. We took him, it didn't work out, but you don't want to be the team that doesn't take him and he turns into, what Kyler Murray really could be.
Right. Let's take it to the NCAA bracket. John, have you done a bracket or anything?
No, I haven't done a bracket in a while. The last time, I got tired of doing brackets and 12 seasons beating 7 teams in the second round.
My bracket already busted
and I ain't first time ever as a 16 seed and UTMB beat Virginia 1 seed. To me it's just
Yeah, the bracket get busted. I already know. Tell me the top teams. We can go out there about Duke and Zion Williams and what North Carolina could do. We know top teams like Gonzaga. What team scares you the most when we're talking about coming into this tournament?
What team scares me the most? What team would I not want to play against the most?
Yeah.
Obviously, I think Duke is the obvious answer, but I'm going to go with North Carolina. I think they have a great balance of, freshman playmakers along with veteran leadership. You have Luke May, who's won a championship before. Obviously, Roy Williams, a coach with great pedigree, and they've caused a lot of problems for Duke this year. Obviously, Zion didn't really play in either one of those games, and when he did play, they won in the ACC tournament. But I think North Carolina is a really well-coached, balanced team. Obviously, you have Michigan. They ran the championship last year.
Right.
They're playing great basketball. Gonzaga, like you said. So I think there's a lot of teams. Obviously, there's always a sleeper team that comes, from nowhere and makes some noise in the tournament. But I think this is one of those years where, the number one seeds are really traditionally a number one seed always ends up winning it. But I think Duke has the best chance, honestly. And it's not just because of the star power. I'm not trying to make the fake sick, but I just,
I have to agree.
An NBA team damn near, and, Zion is going games where he's not missing a shot at all. And the only thing that concerns me is the inconsistency of Cam Reddish and RJ Beard. I think they sometimes have the tendency to either disappear or just be extremely inefficient. But I think with Zion there, the way he can just dominate the game from every angle, he shoots such a high percentage from the floor, dominates the game in rebounds. He just makes plays. You also have Trey Jones at point guard, another 5-star prospect. They have so many 5-star prospects on their team, you don't even talk about some of them.
Right.
It's ridiculous the way he's talent. Yeah. But he's a great defensive point guard, so he can stop some of those. He can be a great wing defender when it comes down to it and allow RJ Barrett to score on the wing. Obviously Zion doing what he does. So I think Duke is the most dangerous team, and as long as they don't just have a complete off game or just completely rest on their laurels, I think they have a great chance. I would take them against the field to win the tournament this year.
Sweet. John, I do got to mess with you before you go off, man. For the first time in about almost a good decade, NBA playoffs are around the corner, and there will be no LeBron James.
It's gonna be so boring.
I know that's your guy, bro. I know how you feel about him.
No. See, this is a common misconception. I have a great respect for LeBron, but I am definitely, I'm team KD if I had to pick,
Okay, all right. As long as you came to terms with it, I'm okay with that.
I gotta let that be known on the radio, See the story, my fans, I'm definitely team KD. But yeah, it is crazy just the mess that the Lakers have been in this year. I did not expect that, especially early in the year. People forget they were in the 4th seed going into the All-Star break. Well, really,
they started good.
On Christmas they were the 4th seed before LeBron got hurt. But it's just not looking good in LA, and I'm really questioning if they're even going to be able to get a second star. He talked about Anthony Davis. It seems like the Pelicans are hell-bent on not sending Anthony Davis to the Lakers, so he might have to wait a year for that. When you look at some of the other free agents, I don't see Kawhi going there.
So John, I want to know for LeBron's team that he's going to be with the Lakers. Will he ever be able to win a championship?
The way it's looking now, and the way that teams are stockpiling talent, and I think LeBron might have won his last ring with Cleveland in 2016.
I agree.
Obviously we're gonna have to revisit that, depending on the moves that they make. But you look at it next year, LeBron will be in his 17th year. He's showing signs of age, contrary to popular belief, or like Skip Bayless says, the blind witnesses. And I think that was clear the other day in Madison Square Garden, where LeBron got 5 inches off the ground and got his shot palmed. By Mario, I don't even know how to say his last name. That's, he shouldn't be palming LeBron's shot, but he's not playing any defense. And like I said, some of the top free agents, I don't see the Lakers as a major destination for them. Like I said, it seems like Anthony Davis is. The Pelicans are looking more to what the Celtics can offer than what the Lakers did. I feel like the Lakers offered half their team and their draft picks for the next decade, and the Pelicans still said no. So
yeah, and that's what I think ultimately probably messed up some of the continuity within the locker room, knowing that half of these guys are about to be auctioned off just for Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
When we look back earlier in the season, and me and you kind of talked about it a little bit. Honestly, I didn't have the expectation of the Lakers going to the playoffs in year one. Even with LeBron James being able to propel a team into something better than what they actually are. We knew they were still young. A team that kind of mostly mirrored the Cavs in a sense, was just less of the veteranism that was there, even though they did add Lance Stevenson, Rajon Rondo, even though he ended up suffering the injury as well. And you're totally right. Albeit the ultimate fall probably could have been the 15 games that LeBron.
Great players, but no role players.
I think definitely with that, and just the trade rumors and that affecting that, because if you think going into the season, okay, you're still thinking coming off of the finals, obviously they got swept by the Warriors, but you're thinking, okay, LeBron is still, and it's not like LeBron is completely falling off, but at that point, obviously I think KD is better, but LeBron is arguably the best or second best player in the league. You're thinking Lonzo Ball is going to take the next step. Brandon Ingram is going to take the next step. Kuzma is going to take the next step. And then you bring in some good pieces
and
like
it didn't happen.
Rondo, Lance Stevenson. Obviously it didn't work out. We know that now, with 2020 hindsight. But right. I think going into the season, we did think that they were going to make some noise. Now, as far as not winning the championship or anything, but I thought they would at least be able to get the 8th seed in the West. But and that fell with them being the 4th seed on Christmas. But I think it's just a combination of LeBron being injured and then the trade rumors, how that affected the team, and then just coming back, and the Luke Walton thing. You got to question if the players are even playing for Luke Walton, or if he's got
Right, I do.
He's on the way of being out. There's just a lot going on. And it's tough to see. And it's tough to see. This happens to LeBron, and I think now LeBron's receiving a lot of unfair criticism.
Right,
a lot of people that have wanted to criticize LeBron, but didn't have a legit reason to, are now piling out on him. So it's just tough to see this to one of the most iconic players of our game, kind of see the way that the narrative is kind of changes towards him in the media.
So here's my last question, John, and you can keep it as short as possible. Could that be a chance that LeBron ends up being a trade option?
Well,
I think when Jeff Van Gundy said that, it was just kind of one of those like crazy hot takes. And
I'm just throwing it out there just for the sake of it.
Yeah. It's been a topic on every sports show I've seen since then. So I don't know. But I just don't think there's any way you can trade LeBron. You know, even if he's not matching the expectations that you thought he would have, you know what I mean?
He's still one of the best players.
8-8, you know, on a nightly basis. He's still, you know, LeBron James. Like, you get all of that. You know, you cleared all of that cap space to dream of getting a player like LeBron James. So, you know, 1 year into the experiment, I think you got to rock with him. I mean, you got LeBron James on your side. You got a chance, especially you can put somebody with him and get shooters around him, which they failed to do in the offseason. So, I mean, I think that would be completely ludicrous if they even thought about trading LeBron James. You know, I mean, I understand it, I guess. You know, if you want to say he's going to be 35 and then, you know, maybe some team will give you a king's ransom for him, but I don't know. I think you stick it out with LeBron, and, you know, LeBron will give you the best chance to win any package you would get for him. So.
Right. John, man, we appreciate you for taking some time out to call in, man. I know you are usually a busy and famous man out there in the San Marcos area, dog. But I have to take a trip out there, man. We gotta wrap it up, man. We gotta link up one time and catch up for the good times. Pretty sure that happened at some point in Houston.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'll be in Dallas soon, man. You're gonna have to get me in studio.
Hey man, look, dog, I already told you as soon as you sign this contract that you keep running away from and stop being Le'Veon Bell, then we can get you in here.
Man, you know, you've been playing with the terms on my contract. I might have to take Caesar's corner elsewhere, you know.
Look, my God, I love, man, and appreciate you as usual for calling in, John, man, and we'll give you a shot next time.
Of course, man, of course.
Thank you. That was Jonathan Davis of Caesar's Corner. Super insightful guy.
He's definitely insightful.
He's not. He's good people.
Oh yeah, he knows his stuff.
Definitely, but he had a lot of good points to talk about. We talking about a team like the Lakers. I don't like to spend a lot of time on them because we know they're usually the hot topic of every single day.
Yeah, so it's almost the consolation prize of LeBron going out there getting his Hollywood career started.
And we all know part of it was a business move. Most of his businesses reside
setting himself up for his retirement.
Exactly. His kids can have that type of generational wealth thing going on. But,
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it, honestly. If he's accomplished so much in his career, what do you guys want him to do?
Right.
Pull a KD and go join the Warriors just so he can go get more rings?
But was KD's move that bad?
I just feel as though, well, for a player like LeBron, his caliber, and he's like, you know, that guy, it almost would kind of tarnish his legacy in a way.
Here's my thing, and I've always said this. In the rule book, there's not even a rule for this, so it's not even a rule book. Does it say how to win a championship? It just says win one.
I guess.
Yeah, see, I'm just saying. It doesn't tell you how. It didn't say. I saw.
But KD is still, like, don't get me wrong, he's a great player. However, about 20 years from now, people are going to talk about KD. They're going to say, yeah, KD, he was this, that, and the third. However, he pulled that blank move.
True, to a team that
and go to a team that didn't need him.
They really didn't need him. I think
so his rings wouldn't even really be necessarily just respected upon, like, him, you know.
Fine, fair. That's fair. I'll be trying to say KD every time.
You try, but you can't link up with the best two shooters in the NBA, and these guys already been going back to back to back with championships, and you are one of the best players in NBA, and then you join the team that put you guys out of the playoffs last year.
When they were up 3-1, I totally agree.
I totally agree. But it's working for him, so
it's working for him. That's
right on, KD.
To say. I mean, the dude.
It's working for him. We're not gonna take away his game or anything like that. Not taking away anything from him. However, it's just like a little,
It's not that bad.
It's like the way you do it.
It's okay. What's the way you do it? What's the other way? Go to a bad team and you say, "Hey, I led this team to a shit." That's what LeBron was doing. I totally agree. That's kind of what he did with the Cavs. Even though I say LeBron has had help, other people may say he hasn't.
It's like, hey, I pay for this with my hard-earned money. I work day and night, putting in extra overtime hours, and you just come roll up with your daddy saving and pay for the same championship
Here's
ring.
the thing that this is where I can come to KD's defense when it comes to the Warriors. Steph Curry drafted, Klay Thompson drafted, Draymond Green drafted. You can't help that these guys became good. Technically speaking, it's not like the Warriors went and got all of these guys in the choir.
Right.
They got one free agent, KD. That's just my thing. I don't. That's the only reason I get it. I get it out of the.
That's out of all teams, though. The irony.
The irony. I know.
That's like
it betrayed.
I mean, honestly, it happened before. Ray Allen did it and went to the Heat. And you know, like,
why is he not receiving as much flack as KD?
You're right.
They won with Ray Allen.
Definitely won with Ray Allen.
That's all I'm saying. Thank you. That is all I'm saying. I have a question. So we're at the tail end of this show. We got about 6 minutes left. Movies that are coming out. Are you a superhero fan? You watch the Marvel movies that come out?
I do watch the Marvel movies that come out. However, I'm not the Marvel head that's gonna.
You don't have to be. I'm not a Marvel head either.
Okay.
It's kind of like where the movies are going.
Okay.
And I just kind of wanted to touch on that because I watched the Captain Marvel movie.
Oh, don't tell me.
I'm not gonna tell you the movie.
I was supposed to see that last week.
I really just wanted my fix for the last 45 seconds at the end of the movie to say, "Oh, now I'm ready for Endgame." That was my only thing. But I just kind of wanted to kind of give. See, you haven't watched it yet. Why you not watching Jessica?
Just go ahead.
You ain't stop watching. You be watching PV, don't you? That's why they deterring you away from what you need to be doing. Now you don't have to worry about them no more because they added a turn.
And now I'm gonna go ahead
Go
and
watch Captain Marvel. You got time on your hands now.
yeah, okay, sure. It's on my bucket list.
It's not too bad.
On my to-do list.
This has been a good show. I don't get to do this a lot anymore, so I kind of miss being on camera sometimes. But I'm having to run things behind the set, and good folks like Sequoia are gonna be filling in my seat.
Not yet though.
Not yet.
So keep it warm while
Not the lead seat. Not the lead seat, okay? But she's one of the new faces that you guys will be seeing up on here a lot more. But it's all good, guys. This is SOS Spot on Sports. This is Monk Spot on Sports. We ask that you guys comment, rate, subscribe, drop us a like. We would always appreciate it. Head to our YouTube channel and rate the bell, click the bell, do the stuff that you're supposed to do on YouTube in order to watch more Spot on
Subscribe.
Sports. Yes, do that. Head to our social media pages. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, Spot_on Sports. And of course, this is our Facebook page here. It is a new wave of sports that is sweeping the nation where we're not just accurate, but spot on. Thanks to Danny Martin, Geek League Studios, the cosign Innovator of the Year lives here in this spot. Sequoia Hood.
It was a pleasure, guys. I will be back
Fairly soon.
Yeah,
Tony
extremely
Monk.
soon.
And we'll catch you guys next time.